show off with our Mastercraft Impact interview with Jessie Johnson. So let's see if he's there. You there, Jessie?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Jim?
Pretty good. So I got to kick the show off and just say congratulations on this new Speed Energy deal. Sounds like it's going to be an awesome deal for you and your short course program. And I mean, kind of give us a little bit of what it entails. And is it just for this year? Is it a multi-year deal with Speed, or where are we at?
Right now, it's just for this year. I've been hounding Robbie for the past year, trying to get some help and get going, and we finally came to an agreement. And I'm stoked to be on board with Speed and go out and win some more races.
Awesome. Now, I mean, everybody's heard, your name. Obviously, the last name Johnson, in motorsports is kind of iconic. Tell us a little bit. Everybody knows you as an off-road racer, but I mean, you've done some oval racing and stuff like that in the past. I mean, kind of tell us a little bit about your career background and kind of how you've got to where you're at now.
Yeah, Dad, Grandpa owned a motorcycle shop, and Dad always had us on bikes, and so I started riding dirt bikes when I was like 4. Did a little bit of racing in that, not too much. And then when I was like 11 or 12, we got a Bandolero and started running at the summer shootout. And then just kept moving up. We ran legend cars, late model trucks, late models, and a couple other things in between there. And, we have a long history in asphalt, and I decided to switch over to off-road. Completely different, learning a lot every time we go out, but we're getting better and getting faster.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, obviously, you've got this deal to run the Superlight this year. I mean, as far as off-road, I mean, have you just stepped into the Superlight? I mean, you've got any ideas that maybe you want to go Pro 2, Pro 4 racing, in the next year or two, or, just kind of see where it goes?
Yeah, I definitely would like to move up, getting a little more horsepower, a little more, driver's class. I like the Superlights, but I want to hopefully get in the Pro Light next year and go up there and battle with RJ and Brian Deegan and all those guys and tear it up.
Well, yeah, the Pro Light fields this year have been pretty amazing. I mean, just I think a lot of it has to do with the new V8 rules and stuff like that. But they're getting, I mean, some of those races. I mean, what are they getting, like 20, 30 entries a race? I mean, it's pretty amazing. But Super Light, people don't realize. I mean, you can own your own truck, and it's also an arrive and drive deal. But I mean, some of the competition you've got in there, I know there's a lot of the Metal Militia guys that kind of do that. I mean, it's not like you're running against rookie competitors. I mean, the competition's pretty steep.
Yeah, definitely. We got Drew Britton there, and he has a lot of experience in the truck driving it. Sheldon Creed, Haggy, and Larry Linkoggle, and it's definitely a stacked class. The top 5 have good battles every weekend, trying to get that top spot.
Yeah, and you've kind of got a great group of sponsors that look like you've come on board. Obviously, Speed, and you've got some ties with Mastercraft and Impact, and I know you've got some ties with Lowe's. I mean, is there any chance? I know you're doing the short course thing. We may see in the desert sometime. Any chance you want to kind of switch over and do a little bit of desert racing as well?
Yeah, I definitely would like to get more experience out in the desert. Definitely get into something, and I really, really would love to run Baja. That's one of my dreams coming up as a kid, watching my brothers race it and my dad working for BFG. We were always, in Baja or in the desert somewhere racing, and I would definitely love to get in the desert car and give it a shot.
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome to see you out there, and I don't know, who knows, maybe we'll have you come out and test the number 15 trophy truck sometime. We kind of got a deal going with the number 15, so maybe we'll get you out and let you run my truck around a little bit.
Definitely, I'd love that.
So, no, I mean, obviously, I mean, what else you got planned for this year? Just pretty much you're going to concentrate on the Superlight stuff, or, and obviously you're going to run the whole, the Lucas Oil National Series, right? Or are you going to do a little bit of regionals? I mean, you just kind of mix and match. What are we looking at as far as schedule goes this year?
Right now, just the Nationals. We missed the first 2 events, so I got a lot of making up to do on the points. But we're going to run the Nationals. We might go run some regionals, and probably do a little bit of testing, get the truck more dialed in and get me more comfortable in it, and just go out there and get it done.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, are you guys prepping the truck, or is Superlight prepping it for you? I mean, I know with the Superlight series, they've got quite a few different options. I mean, how is that working? I mean, are you guys actually working on the truck, or are they doing it for you?
Yeah, I usually work on all my own stuff, but my truck's at SoCal Super Trucks in San Bernardino, and they're helping me prep it. And when I get back in town, I'm going to go up there and help them tear it down and get her cleaned back up. But usually I work on Sheldon Creed stuff. I work for his grandpa, so I'm usually out in their shop working on their stuff, or up in San Bernardino working on mine.
Well, it sounds like you're surrounded by a lot of guys that have been around short course and stuff for a while. So I mean, it's sounds like you've got good group of people working with you to help you along with this program.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm learning a lot every time I'm in the shop or at the track. I love learning about race cars and how to make them go faster, and just being involved. And it's been learning a lot the past 2 years in tire grooving, setup. Just how to drive too. Basically, how to go backwards on how I learned how to drive, with asphalt stuff, and then going to dirt. It's kind of backwards how most people do it. Most people go dirt to asphalt. So, definitely been a big learning curve.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I've got to ask you this question. It's kind of a loaded question, and I want this interview to be about you. But I've got a ton of emails. With you racing off road and Ricky racing off road, there any chance we may see Jimmy take a little dive back in the dirt?
I've been trying to talk him into it. He says he wants to. He just he has such a busy schedule. They race 36 weekends a year, and with their testing and his regiment with stuff that he's got going on, it's kind of hard for him to make it out to the track. But I know me and him actually talked about the other night. I was like, let's do a Pro 2. And he's like, I would love to get back in a Pro 2 and give it a shot. So hopefully we can see him out at a dirt track here shortly.
Well, and it's kind of interesting, just short course in general. I mean, for a long time it was just a Midwest thing, and it made it hard for the West Coast guys to do it. And then, now Lucas Oil is concentrating mostly on the West Coast, which has been great for us racers out here. But now you've got Torque come into the picture, and they're running a lot of stuff on the East Coast. And I think it's not just your brother that might be interested, but I know I think was it Kyle Busch has dabbled in it a little bit, and it's kind of nice for some of the NASCAR teams and stuff to get exposed to it, but out there on the East Coast.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great, I think it's great that we're getting more, bigger name drivers to come out and drive these trucks. I think Tony Stewart hopped in one, and then with Kyle getting in, it's all great exposure for the sport, and I think it's more entertaining. I think it's the most entertaining racing I've ever seen. There's action-packed, everyone's beating and banging on each other, and, with getting big names out in these trucks, it just helps the sport grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And, tell us a little bit. I got to say, it's pretty awesome. You came out, you missed the first 2 rounds of the Lucas Series. You came out at Elsinore, which you're going to have to tell us a little bit about that course, because I haven't been there yet, but I've had some friends send me some in-car footage of their trucks and stuff at Elsinore, and it almost looks like a supercross track for off-road trucks. But, you came out of the box, you won day one. Everybody knows you kind of, politics were involved, and you ended up with, I believe, a third. You came around and you won the second round again. So arguably you got 2 first places. But tell us a little bit about the opening weekend and what happened, and and obviously about the Elsinore track, because as far as off-road courses go, I think that just looks insane.
Yeah, it definitely was a great weekend. We got charged Saturday with a little rough driving, and they knocked us back to third, and then came out Sunday. And once I got out front, I was like, all right, focus, keep your head down, let's do this, and let's get away from these guys and let them battle. And just checked out, and I was so happy when I came around and saw that checkered. But the Elsinore track is fun. I enjoyed it. It's technical. It basically is a supercross track. You got to know how to time things, especially with the step up into that tabletop. You got to know how to time it so you don't launch too far down the turn. And then the big money booter tabletop coming back the other way, that thing gets scary at times. You're going up to it and you just see like an 80-foot lip, and you're like, hopefully this works out. And just keep in it, stay committed. And then the 10-pack of the doubles, it's a little hard for us to get through, but it made for good racing. A lot of people wouldn't commit or had to commit, and it definitely was a good passing zone. And the big 1 and 2, the big sweeper, I think they did a phenomenal job designing the track and building the track, and hopefully they make more like it.
Yeah, I think it's totally the difference in, some of these tracks you guys are racing on are temporary use tracks, not there all year long, and, and they've got a they've got to rework them for the races and stuff. And I think Elsinore being there, year round, what's going to be year round, in a permanent facility designed for short course, I think it makes, for an awesome venue. And I hope they get add more races like Elsinore to the schedule, because I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is an awesome course, great facility. Tony did an awesome job designing it and getting everything ready for it.
So, when are we going to see you in the truck next? You going to do some testing? You got any testing coming up, or or what's kind of the plans? Or are you just going to go and run the next Lucas round?
I think we're going to go and try to test at Glen Helen for a day, just to get me more comfortable in the truck, because I'm not used to that truck yet, and the way it jumps, it's really nose high, so I got to figure out how to keep the nose down on it. So I'll probably go testing a day or two at Glen Helen, and then we'll head out to Surprise, Arizona. I think it's May 19th and 20th. We'll be out there and hopefully get some more wins. Awesome.
Well, I've talked to a lot of people in the industry, and it looks like you've got quite a group of sponsors going on in your truck. And you working with any special projects with any of your sponsors, or you got anybody you want to thank and call out here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Speed Energy, Goodyear, Mastercraft, which Mastercraft is a great help. They've been helping me with my seats, suits, everything, and I'm helping them kind of make a new seat that's more of a containment seat and a suspension seat together, and for that to be coming out soon. SoCal Super Trucks, Sign Pros, Jimmy Johnson, anything with an engine, Fox Shocks, OCC Racing, and Racer X. I couldn't do it without them, and they're great people, and I'm glad to have them on board.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that Mastercraft seat. I was actually at the Mastercraft headquarters on Wednesday of last week, and I got to see the seat that you're actually working on. And I don't want to say game changer, but it's an absolutely awesome seat. Some of the projects they've got going on at Mastercraft that people don't know about are just some phenomenal stuff. But I'm excited to see that seat finished up and see what you think of it testing, because I've already hit them up and said I want one of those in my truck, because they look pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to get it and try it out and see how it does. I'm very excited about it. And, Mastercraft is doing a great job. They're pushing driver safety forward and trying to make everything better for us and make sure we're safe at the same time. And they do great work on their suits and Impact with their helmets and all their gear. They're a great, great company. I'm glad to have them on board.
Yeah. Well, I want to tell you, thanks for coming on air. Congratulations on your new deal with Speed Energy. I look forward to seeing you race the rest of this year, and I'm looking forward to getting out at some of the races and maybe hanging out with you and see what happens. So, congratulations on your wins in the opening rounds, and looking forward to seeing more of them from you this year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's awesome, and can't wait for Surprise to go tear it up again. And definitely, if you're at the track, come by the.
All right, we'll do. Thanks a lot for coming on our Mastercraft Impact interview, Jesse.
All right, thank you.
All right, take it easy.
Talk to you later.